with a mobile device can access internet countries worldwide. Any 12 or 13-year-old with a mobile device can access internet pornography at any time. Okay, they can go on and watch Dread or Shin Diesel or Mandigo. They can go on Dogfart Network. They can go on Black.com. If you just look at the number of views on these videos, these interracial videos on these adult websites, they get an insane amount of views, especially the interracials with a black man, or the other cases if it's an interracial with an Asian woman. These videos get unbelievable amount of views. And then listen, many of these guys, they won't admit to these. I'm just telling you guys a 100% fact, okay? And in fact, it's not just the Western men, okay? Most of the guys in China, they talk about black penises all the time. I'm just telling you, they talk about it almost every single day.
In China, not that many black men in China. And y'all talk about black penises every day. Okay. Like, how would a conversation like that start is what I'm wondering. How would you start start that conversation? And I think this is one of the differences, between the races, at least black American men. We don't talk about other groups of men's penises under no circumstances. Good luck to the black man who is surrounded by other black men and somehow bring up the subject of other men's penis sizes. Good luck to that dude. That's not going to be a memorable experience for him, right? He going to get clowned. Okay, that's just strange. That's creepy, but let's continue. They talk about our penises every day. Chinese men in China. Wow, okay.
Almost every single day. And this is one of the many theories that's floating around in China about the black penis. Well, they're saying that, okay, how come, when these guys are watching the NBA, they're saying that how come you never see Chinese guys grow this big? Okay, how can these black guys in the United States, in the NBA, how can they be so massive? And how come 60 to 70% of these black...
He said, why don't Chinese men grow this big? Chinese men, on average, are just small. Okay, that is what he said. I don't want nobody to miss that.
And these black guys in the United States, how come you never see Chinese guys grow this big? Okay,
you do. There's been big. There are right now big Chinese men. Just that not that many. But like I said, on average, they're just small men.
How can these black guys in the United States, in the NBA, how can they be so massive? And how come 60 to 70% of these black professional athletes, how come they only date snow bunnies? So why is that? So one of the theories they came up with is that, how the blacks in America, how they got so big. They're saying that, back 200 years ago, the black slaves, the really small and skinny and short ones, okay, the really weak ones, obviously they couldn't do as much work on the field. So the slave owners obviously didn't want them. So they were systematically starved and eliminated. And obviously, think about it from the slave owner's perspective. That person's going to want to make...
Small, skinny black men have not gone extinct. It's a whole lot of small, skinny black men right now. A ton of them. Right? What weight class does Gervonta Davis fight in? 130, 135? That's small for a man. Floyd, 147. There's a whole lot of small, short, small, skinny black men. Okay, so they haven't gone extinct. And black Americans are not bigger on average than, say, Nigerians or Ghanaian men. We're really not. And they haven't gone through any plantation experience. So I don't think that's true either. We just got more diverse genes, right? You can look that up. Blacks worldwide got more diverse genes. That's what I believe it is.
And obviously, think about it from the slave owner's perspective. That person is going to want to make as much profit as possible. And who is going to make you the most profit? The really, really huge, the muscular, the tallest, the biggest black dudes on the plantation. They're the ones that's going to make you wealthy, right? So it only makes sense for these guys, the alphas, what do they call them? The tyrones. So only makes sense for the slave owners, for these tyrones to reproduce. So every single generation, for hundreds of years, these slave owners, they picked out the tyrones to sleep.
Also, excuse me, many of those small men, black men who are 130, 35, 40, 47, 50 pounds, many of them are as strong as big black men. Many of them like super, super strong, dude. Where you wouldn't get rid of them. They can work. Like they can pick up the heaviest of objects, but only be 145 pounds. Many of those small guys are yoked. The only thing that's important, the only thing that really matters is muscle density. From what I understand, blacks are born with more muscle and less fat. They have more muscle density. That's one of the reasons why, on average, black women have rounder buttocks. It's muscle density. And on average, black males are more naturally muscular. That's just what it is. And I believe that was one of the big reasons steroids were invented and had started to be used. Because on average, black men were bigger, so they were seen as a threat.
With all the black women. So many of these guys, the biggest, the baddest, the slaves, they could impregnate dozens of black women at the same time. And the next generation of slaves that these tyrones produce, they're going to be much bigger. They're going to be taller. They're going to be more muscular. They're going to be stronger, so that this way they can get more work done on the plantation. And this went on for many, many generations. That's why the blacks in America keep on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And obviously, this goes without saying. It's not just that their four limbs are getting bigger. Their third leg is also getting bigger. And it's not just the length and the girth, obviously. So this thing here, this is roughly about 7 inches, okay? Understand, for many women, okay, the girth is more important than the length. Although this one's quite girthy. So many of these Chinese guys, they're also saying that, the black penis has more durability. They're saying that this is because generally on average, an African male has a much higher bone density versus Europeans and Asians. So many of these Chinese guys, they're saying that because, these African males, they have a higher bone density. That means that their third leg can be twice as hard and durable during a erection. So when they're penetrating a girl, they can give that woman a full body shaking experience. It's almost like they can send them into epilepsy or go into a full body seizure mode. And that's why so many of these snow bunnies, they like to sleep around with these black professional athletes. Okay, I did not make up these stories, okay? Many of these...
Oh, Lord. I don't know about all that. But if blacks have more muscle density naturally already, he said bone density. The penis is not a bone. And listen, I'm uncomfortable talking about this, but I'm making this video to say, Asian men, white men, y'all need to stop talking about black men's penises. Y'all gotta stop doing that. Whenever somebody brings up the subject, change the subject. Change the subject. It's just creepy, dude. It's just creepy. And we don't do that. We don't do that. I've never been in a conversation with a black man and they bring up no man's penis. We don't discuss penises at all. At all. What would motivate you to have a discussion, and not only about our penises, but a discussion about how our penises perform? Don't talk about that. I'm being nice now. Don't talk about that. See, most black men look at this as just some weird thing that white and Asian men talk about. But no, we need to try to have some influence on these types of discussions, or else it could lead to, bad things. Okay, fellas? Even if on average black men are more blessed, don't sit around each other talking about it. Keep all of that to yourself. Okay, keep it to yourself. Why? Okay. I don't, okay. Why would you want to talk about that? Now, I'm going to go ahead and make a guess. I'm going to take a guess since I'm here. Part of it has to be because you don't feel like you fully satisfy women, and you don't know what it feels like to fully satisfy women, which is one of the reasons. Oh my goodness. We're not supposed to be talking about this. But it's one of the reasons why, a lot of these guys use toys on their women. Because it's like, hey, I want you to be satisfied. I've heard girls talk about this. I've heard them talk about this, where their men told them, hey, I want you to be satisfied. They whip out a toy, a little toy or something. But fellas, y'all gotta stop talking about our penises, please. And I feel like this is just one of the differences. In China, ain't no black man up there. What are y'all talking about our penises for he said every day. And he said white dudes talk about it. Right? He's not done.
These guys, they won't admit to it. Okay, they're embarrassed to talk about it. They're ashamed about it. Listen, white guys and Asian guys, they talk about the black penis all the time. All the time. And one more message I have.
Stop. Okay? That's cool. I'm glad. But y'all got to stop. When you hear them talking about it, you got to look. Walk away or something. You got to shun these dudes. Don't entertain every single possible conversation. Black men do it. Sometimes, somebody will bring up something odd or strange, and everybody be on code and talk about something else. Y'all got to talk about something else. Okay? Lord, Lord, Lord. Stop talking about our penises.